Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Nah, But For Real. We're besties who heal together. Keep it real together. I'm your co-host, Jay, and this is your co-host, Allie, and we're so excited for you to join us for another week. If you're not already doing so, make sure that you're following us on all of our social media platforms at nbfpodcast. And like every other episode, although we've been gone, still the same. We're going to start off with another icebreaker. And this icebreaker, since we had y'all waiting, it's giving juicy, it's giving traumatizing, okay? We're going to be showing y'all some throwback pictures. So, Allie, go ahead. I want you to start, okay? Let us know how you was looking back in the day before the glow up, okay?
So if you are on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. If you are listening, I suggest you go over to YouTube and see this. And maybe we could throw a post up on Instagram, Facebook of the throwback pictures.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll throw it, maybe we'll throw it in the stories, not on the page.
Right. They won't be there for long. So if you're listening, go ahead over there real quick.
Okay, so first up, I want to say maybe about one, maybe a little older.
Baby Allie.
Check out the pony.
Come on.
The pony is forcing it, but you know,
giving the girls pink, Afrocentric. Yeah.
Yes, we giving eyes to someone, you know, a little smirk.
You look exactly the same. That just kills me.
Yeah, check out the brows, barely existing.
Ooh, the head. That's a baby head, boy.
Okay, let's see.
Dead.
Here, I'm gonna go in order. So I'm gonna go to this one next.
I love this picture.
So this is probably like maybe 4, maybe 5. Check out the big Band-Aid, you know.
I'm dead.
Got me on the one of these little bikes. I remember this bike very vividly.
I feel like everybody from the early 2000s had this exact same bike. Just like we all had the same blanket. Shout out if you know what blanket I'm talking about. But in the Barbie blanket, this was that. This was one of those moments. We all had this bike.
Check out this necklace though. Get into it.
It was giving accessory.
Yeah. Check out the smile.
Oh.
Still looking the same.
You got the black girl classic hairstyle. We love that for you. We love a good Bobo Barrett moment.
Okay, so next up, this is where it starts to get cringe. We're only showing 3. So the first one was, you know, maybe about 1. Second one's about maybe 4 or 5. Now this one is going to be school aged. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so let's see.
Yes, ma'am.
We got the Chinese fangs going, you know. Let's see, teeth. This is a post, like pre what is it, braces era.
Right.
But still looks the same. Like I've always looked
still look the same.
Never changed. Glasses a little crooked, but you know, go off. Just
what they do is like that. I feel like kids now, like I feel like the photographers, they get them right. I do. I really truly feel like they know what they do. And I feel like they just hired anybody to come to the school, didn't tell us we was looking crazy, your hair sticking up, nothing. They just had us out there. And then they make us go to like recess and gym and shit and then take the picture. Like,
right?
Y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible humans.
Now, Jay, did you know me at this point?
Oh, what this was like 5th grade, right?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. Like,
I mean, you look familiar.
I mean, I've always thought you look familiar. I don't know. Maybe 5th grade, maybe.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know when I haven't known you, honestly.
But you know, it's funny because you said I've always looked like a grown woman. So.
You've always looked the same age your entire life. just shrunken.
I look like, what you say? You said I looked 12 when I was like 5.
She was like 5, bro. She looks the same age forever.
Okay, that's enough.
That's enough. I don't think it's enough. I think we should keep going. All right, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all mine. Let the cringe continue. All of mine are not baby age, but can you see my screen?
Yeah,
sure. I see all my info. All right. So I brought this picture up because my family was clowning me on Christmas and showed me this picture from my freshman year. I want to say it was like freshman, sophomore year. of high school. And I don't know who I thought I was. Like, it was just giving, first of all, y'all don't know how good kids got it with y'all hair. Okay. We had to get the pack hair. And somebody said rest in peace to pack hair on Facebook the other day. And I felt them. We had the invisible part, y'all. Shout out if you had the invisible part. Shout out if you had to go to the beauty supply store and get you some pack hair. Okay. It was giving crunchy. It was giving stiff. And I don't know why I thought this was cute in any dimension whatsoever. I was on my front porch when I was with my auntie, and we were supposed to be inside. This was like midnight, and we had school, and we were literally like hiding out on the front porch, taking pictures, like giving ourselves away as if we weren't supposed to be in the bed. Hot mess, but yeah, they brought this up, so I figured I had to share it because I looked crazy. All right. No. I miss over editing pictures. I really do. I want to go back to this so we would just put dumb shit on pictures. And everything was just so cringe. I love it though. I love the fact that we were obsessed with this man for no reason whatsoever. Like, I'm looking at Jacob Launer now, like, what was the reason? Because he was naked. Okay. Like,
I mean, he's a nice looking specimen.
Okay, But yeah, we were giving obsessed. This was also taken at a local, I guess, what is it, Greek spot? This was at Aristone's. For y'all who know, yeah, this was taken at Aristone's on one of Allie's grandpa's famous days where he would take us out, and we went to Aristone's. And I don't know why I remember this picture so vividly. And we also planned to coordinate. I think we got these shirts from the same place, like City Trends or 579 or some. It's get cringy. Anyway. Also, hold on. Is it a way to go back? Let's talk about the fact that we were both okay with the fact that we are going to be marrying the same man. Like, it doesn't say Lautner is plural. We both miss Lautner. We were sister wife.
I mean, done it before. Why not do it again?
Really though, like, what is wrong with that? I just had to shout that out. I just noticed that. And last but not least, college us. I thought this was super cute. I love this picture because this was like the first time we actually started singing again after years of not singing together. And being together, we joined choir, even though I only went for like one thing. And yeah, it was nice. We got to wear our cute little colors. I remember we went out shopping and finding outfits. We was all excited. And then Allie's car got hit. You remember that?
I do remember that.
Every time I see this picture, I think about the fact that somebody hit Allie's car. And she said, I do this all the time. That's what the lady in her car said. Oh. And we still went to church and sang. Okay.
Every time this happens. I don't know why this happens every time.
Ma'am, how many times are you hitting people? Yeah, stay safe, Memphis, because we know how y'all drive. Okay. I remember. I will never forget.
What was that street? I think that was down was that Lamar?
I think so. Either yeah. I remember we got off on Central, something like that. It was not too far from the Liberty Bowl. Mm-hmm. Not too far from Liberty Bowl. But yeah, somebody definitely hit her, rear-ended her, and we still went to church. At a stop, and we still went to church.
Period.
And sang. Like nothing happened. But yeah, I love this picture. It's like one of my favorite pictures from college, even though my face is barely in it. It just reminds me. Also, our room was a hot ass mess.
Yeah, I can definitely tell.
For sure. But yeah, that's my
fun fact about our room. It was so beautiful.
So beautiful.
When it started, our very first dorm room was so beautiful. We had these globe lights that went across the room from Jay's side over to my side. It was just so nice. It was so pretty.
Purple.
Yeah, it was purple. Like, we had a theme. Like, it was nice in there. And then one night it like came shattering down.
Literally, Ellie almost died. All the lights came off, and mind you, the light bulbs were glass. I don't know why we did that. Anyway, light bulbs were glass. They all came shattering down. Whole thing broke. All the lights were busted, and then our room was giving this and it was early in the semester.
Like, we only had it up, and it was so pretty. We only had it up for like 2 days.
Literally, and then they all busted, and our whole room just from there took a turn and was not cute after.
Yeah, at that point, we was like, "Get me out of here!"
Right. Ghetto. I miss our ghetto college times though. Let me know some of y'all ghetto college times, or childhood times with your best friend, whoever you got. Or share y'all's throwback picture with us, because we're not about to only embarrass ourselves. We know who's gone, but don't have us out here like this alone. Don't have us out here like this alone. But anyway, get back to the subject. Oh, today. How
Yes,
I
sir.
stop share. All right.
Mhm.
Anyway, for today's topic, we went back for y'all a little bit because we want to talk about the importance of understanding where you are in order to get to where you're going. So that means you have to invest in who you are today to get to where you want to be tomorrow. So sometimes you got to look back at them cringy pictures to understand it's going to get better. Okay. All right. So let's just talk about, like I said before, a little bit about the importance of why it's so important to look at who you are today so that you can get to where you're going tomorrow. One of the biggest things for me is that and we're going to talk about a little bit more later on future episodes, but accepting yourself at every point plays a huge role into getting to somewhere better. We look at those pictures and we can laugh and they're cringy, but at the end of the day, like, I could truly accept accept who I was at that point. And sometimes I couldn't. And then think about like how ugly I might have felt on some days and how I didn't appreciate myself on some days. And now I look at it and I just laugh. And it's crazy how during those days, like I mean, really back then I thought my hair was the shit, even though I was wearing pack hair, but I was worried about something completely different. And now I look at that picture and think about is this pack hair on my head. Not giving what I needed it to give. But when I think about all the insecurities and how much I didn't accept and how hurt I was by different things going on back then versus like now, we look at these pictures and don't think about them at all. Just shows the power in just accepting where you are right now, because years later, you're not even gonna know what was going on back then at all. You're not even gonna worry about it because you're gonna be a whole different person. So yeah, I think by accepting yourself in that moment, you won't carry it with you to different moments in your life. And when you're able to get rid of that and not carry it with you, then you can actually grow. Do you have any cute like major points and why you think it's important to invest in who you are right now so that later on you can actually glow up, you know?
Investing. Now, are you asking me like what ways do I invest in myself? So that
No, the importance of it.
importance of investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just being that awareness, like
Mm-hmm.
being aware of yourself and kind of the similar of acceptance, acceptance and awareness being two different things.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to be able to accept yourself, I say awareness comes first.
Right.
And showing up for yourself in that way of being like aware of where you're at in the very moment and aware of what you need at this very moment so that you can accept yourself and accept what it is that's happening around
Yeah.
you.
I know in a previous episode we talked about like taking these little steps in order to, make a big difference. And a lot of times when you are aware and start becoming aware, I should say, of your surroundings, of where you are, we're a lot closer to where we want to be than what we think. And that's what I'm starting to notice now. When I start to accept where I am and actually take the time to realize and acknowledge where I am, I'm like, I'm not that far off from where I want to be at whatsoever. And then that goal is going to keep extending and keep expanding, but you're usually not that far off. And the reason why you're not that far off is because your brain and the universe, if you're spiritual, would not, I don't think it will allow you to have these thoughts of something that you want so bad and just never able to get it. I feel like we're always a lot closer than what we realize. The thought wouldn't even have come into your head if you couldn't get it and you
Right.
couldn't attain it soon or relatively soon, because I mean, what is time? But right. So do you feel like talking about, expectations and investments into who you are right now, do you feel like your expectations have ever been out of reach or someone's expectations could be out of reach?
For sure.
Mhm.
I talk about this with my clients all the time. It's like these expectations that we set up for ourselves that we're expected to do things a certain way because it's how we usually do things. I'll use you as an example, actually. We're
Mhm.
expected to go on a trip because we're so used to going on trips. So now we feel obligated to go on this trip. And I always tell my clients and I tell myself that the only expectation is to breathe.
Right.
That's the only expectation that we should have. Everything after that becomes a choice. Like you
Mhm.
choose to get up out of the bed. You choose to brush your teeth. You choose to go to work. You choose to change your job. Like you choose to pay
Yep.
bills. like everything after breathing is a choice. And so dropping expectations of having to pay the bills, because not everyone can pay their bills. Dropping that expectation of having to go on the trip, because not everyone can afford to go on every single trip. And looking at it from a standpoint of, can we all do this? That's the only expectation that I feel like we should give ourselves, is something that as a whole, we all can do it. Because after that, things are going to happen. Life is going to happen. And things that we expect can just completely shift literally in seconds.
Right.
So breathing, that's the only expectation that I always tell my clients, like, what's your expectation? And they know to breathe. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I talked about that in a recent video I posted, just like how sometimes I can become so confined by not even my own personal expectations, but society's expectations of where I'm supposed to be right now. The pressure that your family, or the expectations that your family put on you, and you start to realize that these expectations have nothing to do with where you picture yourself in the future whatsoever. So ridding those confinements of those expectations, and like I said in the video, all I gotta do is stay black and die. That's it. It ain't nothing I gotta do. If I don't want to do it today, and like you said, everything is a choice. They're not always cognitive or cognizant choices, but at the end of the day, it's a choice. Although we don't always think about them, and they might be second nature, and it's still a choice. We choose to get up, and thinking about how much energy goes into that choice. Like, you should be appreciating every single choice that you make today, because we experience decision fatigue. We experience so much by making these choices constantly. Like, everything. If you think about how much energy gets poured into it, ain't no time to go to bed at 7, 8 o'clock. You're supposed to be asleep. And it makes perfect sense, because even if you felt like all I did today was get up, it requires a lot to get up out the bed. It requires a lot. And I feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit. And every day you get up, you're closer to being where you want to go. I also think about this because right now, I don't know if y'all have seen it on TikTok or Instagram. I've seen it too, but it's kind of a movement going on right now where people are saying, like, be delusional with your goals. And I'm like on the fence about it, because I agree, because when you're a child, like when you think about us being kids, Allie, we would be what people would say is delusional, but technically it's not a delusion. And I understand why they're saying delusional, because it seems out of reach. It seems like we would never be able to accomplish this. But the effort that we were put, for example, we in our minds, if y'all know mindless behavior, we thought we was gonna be with them like today, like but baby, kids, everything. Moved in with them, we planned our houses and everything. And it seems delusional. But then again, the work that we put in, because we saw the goal as attainable at that time, makes it less and less delusional. So I don't think we should see our dreams as a delusion. It's just like, you have to start living in that truth. You have to start living in the fact that you're going to get there one day. And it's not a delusion at all. And I understand why they use the word delusional, because it seems so far-fetched. But I don't know. Have you seen that? Have you seen people saying, like, be delusional about?
Yeah. Yes. I've seen so many things about that, like, be delusional, and it gets you somewhere, and it gets you pushing. And I believe it, because when we started our singing group, we said, we're going to go and record our music. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to have a concert. We had a concert. And if we were not delusional, we would not have had that concert. But it's things like that it's like pushing yourself past what you believe is attainable, and actually creating it, because that's another form of manifestation.
Right. I agree. And it's not a delusion. Like, we have to be honest with the fact that everything else somebody else got, you can get it too. That's obviously, it's not a delusion, because you can get it. If they got it, you can get it. And it's not always easy, but like we said, it's close. Every day you wake up, you're closer to getting there if you put in that effort and start living in who you want to be. Tomorrow, talking about, gonna switch gears a little bit. Expectations, delusions, all of that kind of plays into blame now, because a lot of times it went from, like, for our singing group, for example, it was, we're gonna meet mindless behavior, we're gonna do a concert, yada yada yada. Then doubt started to set in when Allie had to move. Then it's the delusions start going away, quote unquote delusions. These manifestations start going away because we allow doubt and fear and what ifs to start settling in. So do you feel like you've ever blamed the universe or blamed your environment for instead of taking responsibility for where you could possibly be because you've let these things start to trickle in? Obviously, I just gave one example.
Yeah, but playing off of that example, because this is going to play off of it, was when I moved from Chicago to Tennessee. And I was like, oh my goodness, like this is a whole shift. This is a whole change. This is something different. I'm leaving everything I've ever known. I'm a freshman in high school. I'm going into my sophomore year, and everything I've ever known is going to shift. And I would say that definitely put that like fear of what if. How are we going to record? How are we going to practice the way we practice? Because we were so used to every weekend doing different things for ourselves when it came to the group. And it became to the point where, how do we do that if I'm in a totally different state? So like you said, it just, those dreams and those things we always saw for ourselves, they were no longer there because of that. So yes, I put a heavy blame on it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Instead of just realizing that you're supposed to curve with your environment. When you start letting doubts, it's not so much as the fact that, oh, she moved, so we just couldn't. That's not the case. And we do that with this show as well, y'all, being completely transparent. Oh, we're not in the same place, so we just can't. When there are so many ways to get to where you want to be, and you have to shift your mindset and truly believe that that's where you're going to be. And nothing can get in the way of where you want to be if that's who you are, So yeah, I do it all the time as well. I feel like in everyday circumstances, especially when it's time for like simple, I don't want to say simple things because these aren't simple, but working out, finances, it's always something that I put in the way. I can't get this much money because I have this, or I can't save my money because I have to do this. When really it's possible, and it's possible to do all of the above. It's possible for me to work out. I'll be like, I can't go to the gym because I get off work late when Planet Fitness is open 24 hours and you have a gym membership. Things like that. It's not so much, I don't want to call them excuses, but they're fears, they're doubts, and things that are pushed upon us. So I don't want to say I blame the environment, but I do understand that society does a lot of times make us feel like we can't get around anything. Like it's unattainable.
We have people in our lives who it's like everything has to be solidified. Everything has to have a plan and an outcome, and it has to be like they want to see it. Like want to see it, want to understand how is it going to be executed, when is it going to be executed, like almost like a foolproof plan. Right. And if it does not have a foolproof plan, then yeah, it's not happening.
Not even just a foolproof plan, but I mean, they want the details, baby. They want pictures. They want to see the progress. They want every single ounce of what it's going to be so that they can see the picture for themselves. And honestly, I feel like as of lately, that has encouraged me to not share so much of where I want to go, because people start to put their doubts upon you, and as a human, you start ingesting that, and if you ingest too many doubts, they become yours.
It changes it.
It completely changes where you think you can be. And it completely changes all of your mindset. So a lot of times now, when I want to do something, I'm not gonna say nobody, because I've gotten to the point where I've realized who I can tell what to. If I'm gonna dream, I'm cool with telling Allie, I'm cool with telling my best friend Bria, I'm cool with telling, but it's people in my family I'm not gonna tell, because now you want a detailed spreadsheet, and you're not gonna get that from my life. You're not gonna get that from me, because I'm not even gonna get that from me.
And you know what that is?
What?
Because, and we're creatives. So creatives see things differently. And there's different types of creatives. For me, I would think like I'm a visual creative. So I visually see something and then I want to recreate it. Some people are more on the logical side. So when it comes to the creative side, that's why they want the foolproof plan. That's why they want the details, because that's logic. And it's funny because not too long ago, Jay, we had an episode where we talked about how I'm logical. Like I am very like to the point in this and that, but then my creative side is also very like loud. And that's actually where I thrive. It's like when my creative side is open, because then it allows me to use my logic and my creative side to actually create. And I think that some people, they have that ability too, but they focus more on the logistics.
Yeah. And I understand a lot of times that when you fact check, when you're able to fact check things, it makes you feel more secure. So when it comes to family, I don't think they're doing it on purpose. I just think they don't want you to be hurt. I think they want you to be secure. They want you to fit into this box that they see you as or see you in, so that you won't hurt yourself, so that you know, in their mind, it's the unknown for you. I thought you were going to be a scientist and now you're singing and that you're not getting any money. And we had this plan and now I'm scared because what if I'm not here? What if I can't help? What if I, what if, like I said before, doubt. And now your head, like, now you're not doing as many gigs. Now you're not singing as much. Now you're discouraged because you're not making as much money right now.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we let that doubt set in, but we cannot. So it's very important. All of this to say, invest in who you are right now. Like I always say, I've said it for years now at this point, you cannot get the glow up until you buy a light bulb. So that means buy your light bulbs now, y'all. Look at where you are right now. Look at your current situation. Go to the store, whatever you need for that delusion of who you want to be. Invest in it. And we'll be doing the same with this podcast. Just so y'all know, we will be here, and we hope that y'all can support us in that way as well. No doubt over here. All positive vibes. Okay, go ahead.
So Alicia Gogan, she is a podcast host she has a podcast called The Glow Up Secrets. I've been watching her and listening to her on YouTube, and podcast Black Woman 27, right there around our age. And so she says, you have a vision and you are the only one who can get you there. So that's going in with what we're saying. When we have this vision, we're visually seeing something that we want to create, and you're the only one who can get you there. You're the only one who can see it. And when you share it with other people, like you said, they put the doubts in, it almost like either rips it away, or it starts to get kind of foggy, or it starts to become transparent. So you can't really see it anymore. But you are the one who can see it, and you are the one responsible for actually attaining it and making it happen. So yeah.
So make it happen.
Make it happen.
Get to it. All right. So thanks for sticking in with us. Make sure that you're following us on all of our social media platforms at nbfpodcast, y'all. Make sure you like and subscribing. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.